So the betrayal occurred and Izzi Dame has cost Tatum Paxley her championship, her women's championship. So big moments at the end of this week's NXT. An NXT that I thought largely delivered. I found myself pretty engaged throughout the night. I don't think this show was anywhere near as good as the one that we had from MSG last time, but I did feel like this was still a show that had plenty of talking points, some really good action in there. We kind of furthered storylines and obviously a big bombshell at the end of the show. So let's kind of make our way through the show. So just before the show started, there was some comments doing the rounds from the CW Network president, Brad Schwartz. He said that the women of NXT are better than the men. And actually, a lot of the comments are like, he's not wrong. He's not lying. No lies detected. He knows the brand and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people in agreement that the women obviously in a better place than the men. I've got to tell you, I think the numbers tonight kind of back that up as well. The two great matches that we had from our community scoring were both of the women's matches. Blake Monroe against Sol Ruca got great 60, and Jacy Jayne against Tatum Paxley got great 57. The other matches tonight, the other two matches, the tag match, the mixed tag match, both coming out with good ratings. So actually our numbers do kind of support that. Yeah, when we started, I mean, we've got to talk about these scenes. Look at these towels. I didn't quite understand the towels. I mean, it's something to do with Pittsburgh, which I think is something they do with their sports team. I seem to remember Britt Baker in AEW being from Pittsburgh and everyone doing the towel thing. But I've not seen NXT do this, and certainly it's not something I associate with New York. So I was really surprised and a bit confused. I mean, it looked great. As a visual, it looked great, and that was good. I heart NYC XT, obviously crossing over I heart NXT. Very good sign, very clever. But yeah, the towels, I was just like, what's this about? This is not something that is really connected with any character or, I don't know. I didn't get it, but it looked good. It looked good. Right, then we went to our opening match, All Ego. And, of course, Chelsea making their way down for this mixed tag match. We had Thea and Joe Hendry come down doing the turnaround. Everyone joining in with the arms swaying. Pretty good open, pretty good vibe. You lot scored this good 95. Chelsea at one point choking out Joe Hendry with the referee distracted. Another point here, we had the Kimura put in from Thea Hale, and you can see Chelsea trying to reach over to those ropes. It was not bad. The match was pretty fun, but it was a win in the end for Chelsea and Ethan. Not sure how long this run is going to be, but yeah, it was Thea that took the pin. Afterwards, she was saying, I'm so sorry. She was really apologetic to Joe Hendry. Don't know what the plans are going forward. Don't know how long this run is going to be for. Obviously, both of these are double champs. It's a good visual, but it doesn't feel like something we need to run with for a long time. I suppose it's a good way of getting them onto different shows. Chelsea's a fantastic talent. Ethan's a fantastic talent. If we want to use them in Mexico, if we want to defend these belts on the main roster, we've got a lot of versatility. Perhaps it does make more sense these belts are on Chelsea and Ethan than a thrown-together team of Joe Hendry and Thea Hale. But I just don't know where this is going to go. I think there's so much potential, though. Mixed tag championships within the WWE universe is very interesting, so definitely something to be keeping an eye on. So champs retain, and then we went backstage and we heard from Ava. She was saying that John Cena is going to be selecting next week's men's and women's Iron Survivor competitors. Now, I don't know if he's going to be on the show. I mean, I think there's probably a chance it's just a recorded message, but there's maybe a chance that John makes his presence felt. Next week's show is taped. They're taping it right now. I have no idea what's going down, but next week, John Cena selects the men's and women's Iron Survivor competitors. Probably going to be a tape thing. Where he just announces the people that are going to be in those matches. But, yeah, thought that was pretty fun. It's a pretty fun way of doing it. We also had Tavion just talking about how he hopes to be in that match, and then he gets jumped by Josh Briggs. I would imagine that both of these guys will feature in that match And so they were brawling, and they were brawling for quite a while. They brawled in with the crowd, and then we checked back in with them 40 minutes later. They were still brawling. I mean, they've done a terrible job of separating these two if they were fighting for 40-odd minutes. But, yeah, they were brawling in the stands. Then we went back to our second match. There we've got Blake Monroe with this towel, opening it out. You can see a skyline on there, which was really cool. Charlie, thank you. So this is exactly what Sabrina Carpenter does. And we know that Sabrina Carpenter has been a major influence on Blake Monroe. She's even got like little animated versions of herself during her live shows, exactly the same as Blake Monroe. You can see the influence in the ring gear. You can see the influence in the towel bit. I feel like Blake Monroe is a bit of a rip-off of what Sabrina Carpenter does on her tours. Let's call it a tribute, shall we? It's a tribute to Sabrina Carpenter. So I suppose Blake's just taking that and bringing it into the wrestling space. But obviously that bell is going to ring, and that's when it's all Blake. And this match was really good. This was Sol Ruca against Blake Monroe. Sol Ruca trying to get back her championship, that championship she never lost. Zaria defended it on her honor on behalf of Sol Ruca and lost the championship. So this was Sol, an injured Sol, trying to get it back. There's a really nice surfboard stretch. There was this moment as well that was so good. So here, if we go over, this is the kip up. Look at this. Bang! Lands on a single leg. That is so good. It was so good they even showed a flipping replay of a kip up where she lands on one leg. Her agility, her balance and everything is just amazing. This match was really, really good. Really enjoyable. I thought Sol's selling was fantastic. The targeting of that knee was so good. Single leg Boston Crab right there. You can see the knee brace got removed by Blake. She went right back to that single leg Boston Crab. And the way that the match ends, of course, is Zaria panicked on the outside, grabs a towel, throws it in the ring. I think it's a bit of a grey area as to if Zaria can do that. I understand she came down to the ring with her and she was in the corner. I don't know that it's ever actually been clarified that that then gives her the ability to throw a towel in on Sol Ruca's behalf. I don't know that we've ever had clarity to that. She's certainly not her manager. She doesn't have a manager's license. So, you know, I don't think it matters. The referee accepted it, so it must be allowed. And she throws the towel in, the referee calls, and that is it. End of the match. So Sol Ruca never quits, but Zaria threw the towel in on her behalf. We would see her later basically saying, I don't want you getting injured. You can be a champion again, but you won't be a champion if you get injured. So, you know, she is trying to be a friend. It's very interesting because I think a lot of people, myself included, thought Zaria would turn on Sol. You know, I'm now starting to wonder, is it Sol that's actually going to turn on Zaria? Zaria's just trying to be a really good friend. But it's Sol that seems to have a bit of attitude right now. She was not pleased that that towel got thrown in. Then, mate, we went to... So that was Blake Monroe retaining. Match of the night, according to you guys. Great 60. Mate, this was so good. Ricky came out. Oba came out, right? I thought they were going to lead to a match for next week. But we found out it's going to go down in a few weeks' time at Deadline. This line. The Ruler is back. The Destroyer is back. The Bringer of War is back. Your daddy is home. Crowd erupted at that from Oba. I mean, Oba said he had gone back to Nigeria to kind of work on himself. His presence, his confidence on the microphone, so good. We saw a fire promo out of Ricky Saints just the other week, actually, when he was building towards his match with Trick Williams. You know, we saw a brilliant fire promo out of Ricky. Ricky can certainly deliver those as well. But this was about Oba tonight, and that was a brilliant promo from him. Lots of praise online for that, and rightfully so. It really did deliver. So, actually really pumped for the rematch. You want a rematch at Deadline? You've got it. Trick Williams would come down. He would say that, you know, he's still in the mix. He would get jumped by Myles Borne. Myles Borne would give Trick Williams a little bit of payback and wallop him with a chair. And he would also say that when he wins that Iron Survivor Challenge, he will be going after that championship. So it seems like Myles Borne is fairly confident that he will be getting added to that match. Of course, we found out earlier that's down to John Cena to decide. You and Trick will go one-on-one next week. So Ava, not happy about what Myles did. Put him in a match for next week. Backstage, they were still fighting. As I said, it was about 40 minutes later at this point. Josh Briggs puts Tavion Heights through a table. Right, it was time for match number 3. And there we go, NXT 6-7. We're 6-7 in. This number haunts me every day, says the Boulder. So this was going to be Javon and Leon taking on Darkstate. Some amazing moments here. Look at this jump by, the young OG. Young OG went surfing momentarily there as he jumped on the commentary table, went skidding across a little bit. This amazing, yeah. Bit like Montez. We kind of see Montez Ford doing moments like that. So there we go. That was Leon landed on top of Darkstate. Unfortunately, there would be a bit of miscommunication, and it would mean that Javon would accidentally splash Leon. That would result in Darkstate being able to secure the victory, and so they would also retain. So Darkstate retain their championships. I think that's the right call. I think Darkstate have got a few problems that we need to work out, and I think taking the belts off them and putting them on a team like Leon and Javon, who aren't a tag team, this is like the first time they've ever teamed together. Although they might have teamed the other week, but certainly the first time that they're going for like tag titles. I don't know. That wasn't really a switch I was looking for. I get the problems with Darkstate. I get the frustrations with Darkstate. I do understand. But I don't think taking the belts off of them, just abandoning them is the right way forwards. Let's try and fix some of those frustrations. Backstage, we had Kendall and we had Wren. And Wren said that Charlie Dempsey has been ghosting her since invading TNA last week, which is really interesting. Don't know if you heard, but there was a bit of a group that invaded TNA. And it seems like this might be a bit of a breakaway group. Robert Stone, Charlie Dempsey, Lexis King. There was a few of them that attacked TNA talent. Ava said she didn't know anything about it. So I don't know if this is a bit of a rogue group. And if it is a rogue group, are they going to show themselves in NXT? It seems like Charlie Dempsey doesn't have too much time for Wren Sinclair at the moment. So, don't know, Wren and Kendall definitely feel like a pairing that we're going to keep investing in. Maybe it's over for the NQCC. Perhaps that group is done, and perhaps it is Wren QCC now, right? Officially. So I thought that was interesting. Obviously, Kendall is going to be in action next week. She defends that championship against Lainey Reid. Then we got to see Shiloh Hill. I thought this was pretty good. It was just an introduction. He spoke about a lot of different things, and it kind of felt like there was a few threads that I would love to explore further. He was talking about spending a bit of time on the dark web and spending a little bit of time with conspiracy theories. And there was just a few things that I thought was kind of interesting. A lot of the other stuff about him playing football didn't really interest me personally, but he said he loves it and he loves hitting people. So I suppose they were just trying to get across that he's an aggressive individual. I don't know, there was some stuff here that was interesting. I was not down on this. I don't think anyone was really down on this, but there was definitely areas that I was more interested in. And I'm kind of interested to see what his character is going to be. So just a bit of an intro, to be honest. Someone that I'm aware of. He's come through LFG. He was the winner of, I think, Season 2. Just haven't really seen him on NXT. Things got a bit heated, as we said. Sol Ruca was not really grateful at the fact that Zaria threw in that towel. Not sure where we're going, but yeah, a little bit of heat there at the moment. Definitely something we need to keep an eye on. And then, of course, we got to our main event. Jacy Jayne against Tatum Paxley, and this is the big talking point. This is the big talking point. So, Jacy in there with Tatum. I really enjoyed the match. I don't know if it was as good as Blake Monroe, Sol Ruca. Maybe it was a little short. They didn't give them loads of time, actually. We only had about 15 minutes left at the end. But here's the two big moments. Lainey grabbed the belt and she was about to give it to Jacy. Out of nowhere, look at this. Boom! Down goes Lainey. Izzi taking her out. So it felt like she was supporting Izzi and she was trying to help Izzi. by taking out Lainey. But then this moment went down right here. Tatum on the outside. Shawn Spears, Nico not allowing her back in the ring. Bang, mate, that boot just took Tatum into the shadow realm. Like, that boot was horrific. Absolutely horrific. But worse was to come because, of course, she would lose the championship. That belt finds its way back around the waist of Jacy Jayne. Now, I really like Jacy Jayne. I have no problem with this belt going back to her. I don't think she necessarily needed it. I think she just had a fantastic run with it. I personally would have kept the belt on Tatum for a bit longer. But I think Tatum's going to be okay. She's not going back to catering or anything. She's now going to want revenge. She's going to have a broken heart, and she is going to want revenge on the culling. I mean, I wonder if she turns to Lyra. I wonder if there's any other friend that she could reach out to. I don't know. I mean, obviously she can try and deal with Izzi on her own, but she might need a couple of male friends to help her in regards to Shawn and Nico. So I don't know where this is going. I don't know quite where this is heading. She's going to want to get her hands on Izzi. So she's going to be fine for a good month or two as she feuds with those guys. That allows Jacy to continue with a second reign. I'm not down on that. I like Jacy as champion. But I can understand why there's people out there that are frustrated. Like Carmen Petrovich. This girl is the nastiest skank beep I've ever met. So that was Carmen's reaction, tagging Izzi in this GIF. And of course, news coming through. I didn't realize Tatum Paxley now has the shortest NXT Women's Championship reign in history at just 24 days. That does feel like a disrespect, but we know it's not her fault. You know, she didn't lose it clean. She got wiped out by her friend. So I think Tatum fans can take some solace from that. Yeah, it's one of those. I understand people that are down on this. I understand those that are frustrated. I think she's got a very bright future. Wouldn't shock me to see her with a championship again in the future. And I think now she moves on to a very, very interesting feud with Izzi. This is going to be full on revenge, vengeance, fire. It's going to be a lot of fun, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to it. So it's just a shame that it had to come so soon and that her reign ended so early. So I'm going to say this was about a 7. I thought the crowd were really good. I wasn't bored at any point. I thought all the matches delivered. I think 2 of them are genuinely great. It's hard to be down on when you've got Leon and Javon on the show. Mixed tag match open was a perfectly fun open. It was just fine, fun, solid. Maybe not spectacular, but we did get a major title change. So there we go. That was this week's NXT. Certainly worth a watch.